Content warning. This article includes mention of suicide. For Walton Goggins, returning to Thailand was not just about stepping onto the familiar grounds where the White Lotus Season 3 was filmed. It also brought back a flood of painful and profound memories from his past, memories tied to a deeply personal tragedy that forever shaped the actor's life. Thailand was one of the first places Goggins visited following the heartbreaking death of his first wife, Leanne Knight, in 2004. Leanne's tragic passing, a suicide after she went missing for several days, left Walton grappling with feelings of devastation and grief. Walton spoke candidly during an interview with GQ about the deep emotional scars he carried from that time. "It's a very complicated story," Walton reflected during the interview, originally published on February 4th. "Ultimately, it was revealed the decision that she'd made. And yeah, I thought it was really unrecoverable for me. Life on the other side of that." At the time of Leanne's death, Walton was left shattered, trying to make sense of a life that felt irreparably broken. He spent the next few years navigating a fog of confusion and loss. Rather than turning to substances or self-destructive behavior, Walton channeled his energy into travel. For 3 years he journeyed around the world, seeking solace and meaning in distant places. These travels, though never quite filling the void left by his wife's death, provided Walton a way to keep moving forward in the midst of his overwhelming grief. In addition to Thailand, Walton's travels took him to Vietnam, Cambodia, and India, each destination marking a chapter in his attempt to make sense of the profound emotional void he was enduring. He was searching for answers, for anything that might help him understand how to live again. When Walton returned to Thailand to shoot The White Lotus, something unexpected happened. He began to recognize the locations around him. The islands and streets that had been a part of his journey 2 decades ago came back to him in vivid detail. As he walked down the same roads and past the same beaches he had visited during his period of soul-searching, the memories flooded back. "The first island we were staying on," Walton recalled, "I realized, I've been on this road before. And then the next island we went to, I realized, I've definitely been on this beach before. I know this boardwalk." And all of the things kept coming back. It was a surreal experience for Walton, whose travels had once been a desperate search for meaning and peace in a world that felt shattered. On his last night of filming in Bangkok, the realization hit him hard. Standing on the dock in front of the same hotel where he had arrived 20 years ago, he couldn't help but think back to that painful time in his life. He recalled the grief and despair he felt back then, and how he had arrived in Thailand on the brink of emotional collapse. "That's where I was the very first day I came here 20 years ago, and in so much f***ing pain, man," Walton said. That moment marked a full-circle realization for Walton. As he reflected on the passage of time, he saw just how far he had come from the broken man who had once set foot in Thailand, lost and searching. The man standing there with a wife, a son, and a sense of inner peace, felt worlds apart from the person who had first arrived in Thailand 2 decades earlier. "I think I haven't had the time to fully unpack the symmetry between those two people showing up at the same place, separated by 20 years, he admitted. "And a wife and a kid and peace and all the rest of it." As he thought about the man he once was, the man who had no hope, no direction, and no understanding of how to move forward, he wished he could go back in time to offer him some comfort. "I thought, God, I wish I could hug that guy," Walton said. "I wish I could whisper in his ear, 'You're going to be okay.' Life continues, and it continues for everybody if you can just hold on and lean into it and keep walking the walk that you're walking, and keep looking for the answers." Through the pain, Walton found the strength to keep moving forward. His journey wasn't just about traveling the world, it was about healing. He eventually found peace and stability in his life, with the love of his wife, Nadia Conners, and their son, Augustus. But it took years of soul-searching and painful reflection before he could reach that point of inner peace.